Welcome to the session 8 of Patanjali Meditation 102. I hope the transmission is okay. If there is a response. Thank you. So we are in the 8th session of Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Last time we have discussed, in last two sessions we have discussed chapter 2 Kriya Yoga and how Klesh translates into pain of life. So we will have a quick review. Then, as I said, there is a new section today. The new section may take 2 sessions. So it is, I am putting it as a bundle. These slides, I may discuss them, half of them. So we are going, this is a bunch of Sutra number 16 to 26, total 11 sutras, which may require 2 sessions, but let us see, we are with an open mind. So that's why I have mentioned here session 8 and 9. We'll see how it goes. Tentatively, I cannot do in one session. It may require 45 plus 45 minutes. So let's go to a quick review of the first 15 sutras from 1 to 15, what we have discussed, Kriya, Yoga and Klesh. Very quickly, Kriya Yoga is defined as Tapaswadhyaya Ishwar Pranidhanani. This is for not so superior people. For superior quality Chitta, Patanjali has already given his instructions of Yoga without Chitta, without Klesh. Now, this is Kriya Yoga, or second level of people who have Klesh in their Chitta. But as we have seen last 2 weeks, Klesh is not that bad because as a child is ignorant, so child has a Klesh, but child doesn't do anything wrong. Child just plays a natural life and basically, of course, enjoys life, but not at the cost of others. And that is what becomes a further lower category of people who may want to harm others for their own personal gains. So we are talking here about Klesh, which is ignorance, but ignorance per se is not bad, as I am giving you an example of a child. But there is a danger that if you don't acquire the true knowledge, your ignorance of Klesh may cause pain in your life. This is what we have discussed in last 2 weeks. So this is for the second level of people who are with embedded Klesh. So he is at the outset saying, what is the benefit of Kriya Yoga? You get inclined towards Samadhi, which is the objective of Yoga, and also the Klesh is diminished. Now he says, what are those 5 elements of Klesh? Avidya, Asmita, Rag, Dvesh, Abhinivesh. And then he makes a statement, Avidya is the principal Klesh, because that is what, this is ignorance. wrong knowledge, wrong understanding, or absence of correct understanding, lack of true knowledge as well as wrong knowledge. Avidya is now the fertile ground for the later four clays, which otherwise, like we have discussed 2 weeks ago, in the case of a child, a particular that other sanskars are in sleeping mode or are in minuscule mode or are overpowered or are weakened mode, but they are still there. Continuing with this, then he is defining what actually is avidya, wrong knowledge, anitya, ashuchi, dukha, anatma. There is a matrix of two columns. So, to consider anitya as nitya, to consider non-eternal as eternal, impure as pure, what is really painful but you treat it as pleasure, and what is unconscious, you consider it as a source of consciousness. That understanding is avidya. Then he goes to avidya gives rise to the later kleshas. The one called asmita is when the understanding that of the soul and the chitta, they make a dipole. Chitta has an ability, it is inherently exhibiting a piece of knowledge. That is what is the business of chitta, job description of chitta. It has the ability to exhibit whatever is appearing there. And the soul has the ability to observe it. So that also we have discussed. So Shakti is the power. And when a person thinks both are embedded in one entity, that particular clash is Asmita. So of course there are two different entities, the soul and the observer, and the instrument is the Chitta. There are two. This is Dik Shakti and this is Darshan Shakti. But if you think that this is what is doing everything, then you are inflicted with Asmita Klesh. Rag is to, to, to really the objects of pleasure, the worldly objects of pleasure, that you have had a taste of it or you have heard it, and you really treat them as source of pleasure and your mind goes after them. Then there are not only objects, even human beings. Dukhanushayi dvesha is opposite of that, where you ascribe pain to certain objects, certain human beings, and other things, and your mind is avoiding it. It's kind of considering them that they are painful. And then this has been a subtle one called Abhinivesh, where the survival instinct is for a positive purpose, but you are so much, there is a self-perpetuating tendency that wants to cling to the life. So this is a marking. Even learned people may be inflicted with it. So this was our discussion on clash. And no, we went further. Yes, that how clash becomes pain. So when he is saying clash tanukarnathascha, that was second point too. Then he is mentioning how it is diminished, how one should expect it to be diminished. It's like a plant is chopped off, not in that manner, but in a hypothetical manner. That plant goes back to the seed where it came from. It's difficult to visualize, but that's what he's saying. Pratipasav, te is for these kleshas. Pratipasav, they go back where they came from, they are worth discard, that is the meaning of A, and in that process, gradually, they become subtle and subtle, from gross to subtle, and they become minuscule gradually. This is about clash. Now there is a clash that gives rise to modification to mind. So that is called tadvetaya. Tad is for clash, veti is modification to mind. So second point 10 is related to how the clash will be diminished. Now, as a person is going through Kriya Yoga, clash is there but gradually diminishing. And while it is still there, it gives rise to modifications to mind with it. And then that has to be diminished. That is done by meditation. So, by meditation, you attempt to get rid of their vittis as long as they are there. And when they are there, they are the root. Klesh, when it is there in your chitta, I always say klesh in chitta, but klesh in the layer next to chitta. So klesh is there in your chitta, that will work as the root, mool, and because when the undercurrent is klesh, you will make an effort, like Sukhanushayi Raga. So you want to get hold of those objects of pleasure, or dvesh. You will avoid certain objects or certain people. You will make an effort. That effort is the karma. And once you perform a karma, it leaves an impression that is called sanskar. Then after its gestation period, it brings a reward. So that whole chain is there. That is what he is saying. If klesh is present, it will give rise to certain rewards, and those rewards may come in the ongoing life or in the future life. This is the present life, or this is which is yet to be seen. Janma is the life. Vedaniya is one has to experience that. So klesh is there, and that brings the rewards. Second point 13 is saying the reward is in threefold nature after its gestation period: jati, ayu, and bhog. So the nature of species you will be born, the lifespan you will have, and the overall quality of life. So we are going from klesh to karma and law of karma and its reward. And this specifically gives rise to pleasure and pain. Hilat, paita, phala. There are some spelling mistakes in the Sanskrit version. No problem. This is hilat, not hilat. Hilat, payitap. This is pleasure or sukh. Payitap is dukh. Phala is the reward. And then he's saying these rewards are not arbitrary. There is a law of karma. So the 2 by 2 matrix, the pleasure comes out of punya karma, which are virtuous karma, and the pain comes out of apunya karma, non-virtuous. Hetu means these are the cause. This is the cause and this is the effect. And then we were discussing. Now he's saying, even so-called a pleasant experience is actually not to be treated as a pleasant by a wise person. So he's explaining why. He's giving two arguments. One is saying is, if you go after acquiring an object of pleasure, you have an experience, you think it is a pleasant experience, but its parinam, immediate consequence, can be dukh. For example, say I like sweet things, ice cream and other sweet chocolates, all that. I enjoy eating them, but then I overeat, or even if I don't overeat, it does something to me. Maybe I am a diabetic. So, or it's very cold ice cream, I start sneezing, some kind of cold and cough. So, if you go after a pleasure of an object, an experience with an object of pleasure which you thought was a pleasure, source of pleasure, its next consequence may be harmful, may be painful. Just like an example, I'm not very good example, but suppose you are diabetic and you have a sugar and insulin problem and things like that. Tap is, since you enjoy it, you want to acquire it, and in the mechanics of acquisition of that object, you have to make an effort, which is an hardship. So there is a tap there. Sanskar, much afterwards, you have consumed it, you have experienced it, it leaves an impression, and under the influence of that impression, now it is not available. I am in a meeting, I am in a discussion, but that thing is bothering me. It would be very nice if I could eat ice cream now. And this is not an occasion to eat ice cream, but that sanskar can become a troubling thing to me. So, what he's saying is an object of pleasure, which you think is an object of pleasure, can also have a lot of associated interplay and dynamics, which is painful. This is argument number one. Argument number one with two is cha is and. Then he's saying parinam tap sanskar dukha hai. Now he's saying gun vritti vyodhat cha. This is second argument. You should realize that all these experiences are nothing but interplay of sattva, rajas and tamas, that gun on the chitta. So it is just the dynamics of chitta at this point. It is not really happening to you. It is happening here, which is made of matter. It is a subtle material instrument of yours, namely chitta, and sattva, rajas, tamas are going through certain transformations. Put a uh, particular image, and you interpret it as sukh, as pleasure. So this is your understanding of something which is not happening to you, but is actually a vritti, and that is interplay of sattva, rajas, tamas, gun. So he is saying, because of this, on account of this, wise people who are really good people, mature people, they consider all that we have discussed above as dukham. Very forceful statement he is making. Due to the clash, anything that happens is finally to be treated as pain, because that's what mature people consider, and others should also understand that. Here in the Vyas and other, there is a lot of tradition. Patanjali is the author, then a lot of people have written all kinds of commentaries. So there is an example here, I might as well give that. The example is, suppose you walk out of your back door or in a forest deep and you hit a spider web. So spider web is an object. And if I am walking, it is a slight nuisance. Nobody likes it. It hits me on forehead, on my arm, shoulder, somewhere. I just have to get away from it. Now, it is an analogy. So the entire human body should be treated as a society, a group of human beings, and a particular organ, namely the eyes, are representing those wise people. So now he is trying to say, now you are walking again, and that spider web, that small, a thin wire-like thing, thread-like thing, somehow it gets into your eyes. If it gets into your eyes, it is very painful, isn't it? So that is the example given. Other parts of the body don't complain. But the same spider web, if it enters into your eyes, it complains. So the entire body should learn from the experience of the eyes that this is not a desirable thing, isn't it? This is what is the example given. So wise people are at the place of the eyes. They say spider web is painful. Spider web is the so-called objects of pleasure. Since the eyes are saying that, it is painful for should be painful for the entire body. So all in the society should carry this understanding. This is what example is given, classical example. Okay, we have done to this. Now I enter into a new section, 16.26. Of course, I know it. We will devote today as well as next week to it. This I have titled as four-pronged strategy. Patanjali is a genius, but of course, I can go sutta by sutta, but you know it. I try to stop at points where I try to make a block of some small section. And I draw your attention. What I want is I want you to appreciate how the things are flowing in his mind. So he has taught us about yoga, aklisht vittis, then kriya yoga, then klesh. Klesh can become dukh. Even there is sukh. Now he has put that wise people saying all are dukh. So he has come that far. It is klesh, and I did say that klesh is not that bad. Somehow, most of the authors get upset with klesh because klesh is a word in Indian language also. But you have to see the definitions here. So klesh is not bad because as a child we were all with klesh, and a child is a good person, isn't it? Now that klesh, if it is unchecked, it becomes cause of pain, and if you are not careful with this last statement, you may go after maximizing the pleasures of life. And that's where he is warning that materialistic life is not the right approach. And now he is logically trying to convince us that you must take effort to get rid of klesh and not go after this materialistic life. So now he is logically convincing us. And when second point 26 will end, then he will talk about Ashtanga Yoga, where the person did not heed his advice, where klesh has been allowed, the materialistic life has been led to a good extent, and to that extent now he is even willing to take immoral steps. So then he will start talking about moral code of conduct. Ahimsa satyaste vamcheya. So I hope you are able to see the dynamics of his approach. This is Kriya Yoga, then it will flow into Ashtanga Yoga because somebody is not getting convinced here. So now with full force of logic, he is going to tell us, you must get rid of klesh and go to Samadhi Bhavanatha, otherwise life will be painful. So this is a four-pronged strategy. There are four words here. Hey. Hey is, this came here also. Dhyan, hey, astadvit, this kind of thing. Hey is what is worth discard. Hey, hetu is what is its cause. How did it, I am inflicted with something which I need to discard. So that needs to be discarded. Where did it come from? If I don't know its cause, even if I throw it away, it will come again to me. So I must get rid of its root cause, otherwise it will come back to me again. So they want to know what is the cause of that thing which is to be discarded. And then what are you interested in? If you want to discard something, what do you want to adopt? That is called han. Then what is the mechanism to get that? So that is Hanopai. How do you achieve that? So what you are targeting this and how to achieve that target. Four steps. They are more used in Ayurvedic, that is health sector, which is easy to understand. Hay is a disease. So there is somebody in a hospital. He is inflicted with a disease. So a good doctor will try to find out how did it get it. Is it just a virus from somewhere or something? What is the cause of the disease? Then only a doctor can pursue what should be the method. And then this person, what is his objective? That is called ayogya, good health. And how to achieve that? Using a right kind of medicine. So these are four things. He, tu, han, and han. Now this strategy will be adopted. He will tell us why we are in this business of pain in life. So having described Kriya Yoga, this is to logically convince a person Yoga or the following what is going to come Ashtanga Yoga. Take Patanjali seriously, otherwise your life will be not very good. Now this begins. There are 11 statements and some are very philosophical. I think I will go 16 and 17 and 18 today. I like 18. I think 18 is, yeah, that is the matter. So, how he has described the whole universe. So, he is defining what is hay here. What is worth discard? He says, second point 16, heyam dukham anagatam. So, dukh is, this everybody will agree, pain. I want to discard pain from my life, isn't it? Everybody will accept that. This is defined as hay. So, we are all sitting here discussing how we should lead our life. So this is something we will all accept it. Yes, what is hay? What is the thing which we are not, we want to throw it out, is pain in life. But there is something which is where slight philosophy is coming. Anagatam. Anagatam is not yet, which has not yet struck me. Pain, there has been a lot of pain in my life in past. That nobody can change. So pain, anagatam is future. Let me read the English translation first. Pain that is likely to strike me in future. That is worth discard. That is hay. And then I am emphasizing why is he saying that, making a remark, because the past cannot be changed. We have gone through some pain in life, but that cannot be changed. But this is very important because common man will say, at present I am in pain. And I want not only the future pain, the present pain. But Patanjali's definition doesn't give any room for the present. He's just talking future. So, because there is a philosophical time is a parameter where present is ill defined. If you strictly think, in our mathematics, time is a straight line. It is a, and if you are today at this moment, this is 7 o'clock, 7:46 past 7 p.m. in Houston of 19th October in the evening. And if you go by seconds and all that, but if you look at the timeline, this is a point. This is a moment. And when you say moment, that moment is gone. There is next moment. So, strictly speaking, there is nothing like present. It is you are standing at a point, there is a back side and there is front side. You are just at the point which has no length and width. So that is the parameter called time. Of course, in our day-to-day language, we have present, past, and future. But in the eyes of these philosophers, there is nothing like present. Either it is past or it is yet to come. So present is just a small point. So that is a reason I hope with this explanation We accept that. Now it is Hey Hetu. It is a quadrilateral, four-pronged state. So one line is Hey, the second line is Hey Hetu. So we will complete a rectangle somehow. So what is Hey Hetu? He is saying Drishya Drishyayo Sanyogo Hey Hetu. So he is saying cause of pain is that me, the observer, the drishta, and the chitta, that is what is drishya, which is to be seen, and this is the observer, which has the ability to see, they have been brought together. Because there is a chit here, that is where all kinds of sattva, rajas, tamas transformations are taking place, and that's where all the dukh comes up to that point. This is by nature is not in dukh. This brings some information, experience to me, which I interpret as dukh, as pain. So the fact that I have been somehow, this observer and the chit have been brought together. Bringing together is called sanyog. Two things brought together, sanyog. So coming together of the observer and the seen. I am using the word seen for this here. This technical term, it is chitta with modification. That is deshya. Chitta. Chitta is having an image. So that's why it is seen. It is mind, skin, the chit that is constantly seen by us. So he is not using the word chit here, but deshya, because it's like cinema hall skin is raw skin, but when the image is falling, so when it is raw skin, it is chitta. When it is modified, it is chitta plus vritti become deshya, the scene. That is what we are observing. So he is saying the fact that they two were brought together. Who brought together? How? That's not being discussed. But they have been brought together. That causes pain to me. So he is saying, hey, Hetu is they are bringing together. Now the next statement. Yeah. Next two statements are 18 and 19. Are devoted to the scene, the dish. I like this statement, how beautifully he has described the whole matter. Second point 18. There are three parts here. Prakash Kiya Sthiti Sheelam. Sheelam is inherent nature in a Bhutendiyatmakam. That is what it gives rise to. So he's talking about Dishyam. Bhogap Vargayatham. Purpose of this. So the nature of scene, does it consist of, and what is its purpose? It's a very brilliant statement. I somehow like it so much. Everything has been described. So let's look at its English translation. It is about this is, I should have said, the scene is, there is no pronoun here, it is this here. So the scene is made of three strands, what we have called up till now as sattva, rajas, tamas. He is using three terms, prakash, kiya, sthiti. The three strands consisting of, three gunas, that was sattva, rajas, tamas, but I have to translate this. So this is light, action, or enlightenment, not physical light. The chitta gives an image. So it is in an enlightening mode in the sense when it is in the mode of acquisition of knowledge. So when something appears, you are excited, oh, that's it. When you get to know something, so it's in an enlightening mode. And through the chitta only, you activate your later organs, outer organs. So you give a command of action. So that is kiya, action. And sometimes the chitta is in a dormancy or in an inertia mode when it cannot do either of those functions. So that's what we have called as sattva, as tamas. Kapil in Sankhya will say the word piti, which is sukh, apiti, dukh, and moho. So he is using piti, apiti, moho. Sukh, dukh, and moho. But Patanjali is using the word prakash kiya sthiti shilam. Because as I have always tried to say, he is more at the basic form of chitta, while Kapil is more looking at it as an buddhi, where we are functioning, while chit is, it is emitting something. So there are slight difference, but let's not go into that. So this is, if I were to show you that diagram, which is basically coming from Sankhya. So this is raw matter, and very first thing made is Mahat, which is what is functioning as my chitta. And here, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas are in equilibrium, but here they are allowed to fluctuate. Though as a chitta, this is inherently rich in Sattva. That I have tried to argue. Like a child, the default state is he is smiling. So Sattva is dominating. That's how our chitta is made of. But the other two strands are, so the three Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, Patanjali is calling it Prakash, Kiya, Sthiti. So Prakash mode when it brings in knowledge to me, Kriya mode when it is accepting my command and giving the conveying the command to the outer instruments, and sthiti means when it is in dormant mode. Of course, we go to sleep when that is there. So these are three states, and I have tried to argue at any point, whatever is your experience, you can generate it with the right mix of sattva, rajas, tamas. Just like three primary colors give rise to infinite colors. So that's how very brilliant ideas. I don't know how did they think about all this, but that's what it is. So this is the nature of Prakriti he has described. That's what the chit is made of. Then he's saying matter is bhutendriyatmakam. So in this small term, he has described the whole this picture. Bhut is out of this when we follow this objective word, this is bhut, and this is indriya. These are our instruments. So he has described out of this, inherent nature is sattva, rajas, tamas. This is what gives rise to this world, external world, and my inner world of instruments. Bhut and indriya, bhutendriyatmakam. Just one term, he has said, this is what matter gives rise to in the universe we live in. Then its purpose, bhog and upward. There are two terms here, bhog upvargartham teshyam. What is it? It gives rise to gross elements and organs of knowledge and action. What is the purpose? Purpose is it brings rewards of actions. That is what becomes experience for me. Again, the term bhog is used in India day-to-day language, but here it is a technical term. In India, when I say sambhog or bhog, it's a pleasant experience, isn't it? When I am enjoying something. But here it is bhog is when in this diagram something is happening and I am participating in that part. That becomes experience. Creative in that is my bhog. Only purpose of all this. The other purpose of this, like we are discussing Patanjali's philosophy, all these tools and instruments. And then we do meditation. Again, we try to use these instruments, calm them down. So this is another purpose of these instruments, to learn to make them calm and go to the deepest state of meditation by using the instructions from Patanjali, which is through the mind and everything. And then what do we achieve? Absolute calm mind, then maybe samadhi and all that. That will be, now I am disconnect from all this. That is called upward, that is liberation. So liberation is also facilitated by all this, as well as, isn't it? Even so, the purpose of fold rewards as well as liberation. It is for us to choose. If you want always to remain in this direction, and again in this world. But with the same instrument, try to achieve liberation also. Upward. So in this philosophy, nothing is bad. These are instruments. I have to make judicious use of these instruments. I have to live and survive, but I should not go after materialistic life. One more statement. Oh, it's already getting 8 o'clock. Just, this is very philosophical. So creation is interplay. Again, he is saying all these tangents, all these manifestations, all these are interplay of gunas that is made of matter. He is reminding us we are beyond that. We are a constant. We are not going through any change. We are unmanifest, while the material world is manifest, including our subtle instruments. So that is what he is always reminding us, that you are different from all this we are discussing. Now he is saying Vishesh, there are 4 terms here. Vishesh, Avishesh, Linga Matra, Alingani, Guna Parvani. So he is saying this whole thing is created out of fluctuations in guna. So there are sattva, rajas, tamas. There is a designer who has these 3 colors, or a painter who has these 3 primary colors and makes a beautiful painting with thousands of infinite, millions of colors. That is his art. That's the artist, and this is the artful world we are living. All this is arising from interplay of those 3 gunas. So here there were 4 terms: Vishesh, Avishesh, Ling and Aling. Very quickly, otherwise it is very... Vishesh is what is the final thing in this diagram. 5 of them, 5 of my organs for action, 5 organs for knowledge, and manas. They are the ones which come into contact with the outer world. They are the effect. Now nothing more is created out of them. That is called Vishesh. Avishesh is the cause of these. Cause of these is 5 subtle elements and ahankar. This is called Avishesh. Then there is something called Linga. This is Chitta. This is Ling in the sense, Ling means characteristics. So something can be characterized. Like in our day-to-day language, Ling is gender, boy and a girl, because their physique is different. One is a masculine, one is feminine. So their genital is kind of a organ which is their characteristic. One is masculine, one is feminine. So in philosophical term, every material thing is linked. A chair, somebody will say it has 4 legs, 1 back, this and that. These are the characteristics of a chair. So these characteristics define that object. So ling is the characteristic, and lingi means that thing. It is also called as nam and ru. So in philosophy, nam and ru, nam is the thing, also called as visheshya, and this is called visheshan, the adjectives, the characteristics and qualities and things like that. So anything is known by its characteristics. So thing and its characteristics are all the same, 2 sides of same coin. So he is trying to emphasize this is also linked, it has characteristics because there is an imbalance of sattva versus tamas. And with respect to that, this is all linked. This has no characteristics, they are absolutely in equilibrium. Theoretically, we can never know it because it is all linked. Theoretically, a human being can get up to this far in these diagrams, can never get to know this because this has no characteristic. It is like a infinite ocean where there is nothing, isn't it? So just imagine a sky, deep in the sky, where there is absolutely nothing. Vyom, what is called. Not even air, not particle. So it's that kind of a thing, very deep. So this is theoretically a link. That much is there for today. I now invite, we have Anjana Dhinga here today to deliver 20 minutes meditation. Sorry, I exceeded 3 minutes, but we still have 26 minutes. She will speak about herself a couple of minutes, why she does all this meditation, and so on and so forth. And then she will conduct that meditation session. Let me go to the webinar room now.
Namaste to everybody. I'm Anjana Dhingra, and I'm going to be presenting the Patanjali meditation for 20 minutes. That's all we have. Hopefully I can convey to you the method. We've gone to many places, many conferences, and all we hear is meditation is good for you, but we leave without really getting a method. So I hope I'll be able to give you something tangible to take home today. So a few words first about what Patanjali's yoga meditation is. Yoga means union, to unite with the very core of my being. The nature of this core is silence, stillness, and tranquility. It is a state beyond the body and the mind, beyond the mind chatter, to a state of complete silence or stillness. In our ordinary experiences, we have experienced this state in deep sleep, where there are no thoughts, no senses, except that the experience occurs only as a shadow, a memory that I slept well and felt refreshed after the deep sleep. Patanjali's meditation is to experience this state in a conscious mode, in real time. This practice, like sleep, enhances the well-being of the person and also allows for an opportunity for self-transformation. It is recommended by Patanjali to do meditation every day, just as we have healthy food, have a good sleep, do some exercise, and have healthy habits of hygiene, etc. One word about Patanjali's concept of the self, thumb in a fist model. So as Acharyaji has mentioned, the thumb and my fist, the thumb represents the I, and my fist is really my instrument, the mind. The inner part of this mind is really the screen on which I actually see things. I see or experience only what is projected on my mind screen. Ordinarily, it is the outside world, which is in the realm of thoughts. However, when through Patanjali's meditation, I have learned to subdue the world of thoughts, I can experience the bed of my consciousness itself, which is peaceful and calm and tranquil. So the method requires a couple of prerequisites. One of them is really, so I'm going down to the method, and then I'll give you some instructions as to how to go about this 5-step Patanjali meditation. But it requires effortless seated posture in the body. It requires a calm mind. It is achieved through two things. One, deep regulated breathing, that will be the diaphragmatic breathing, and chanting of Om. And lastly will be the Patanjali's meditation, in which case we are suspending our awareness in front of the third eye, which is the space outside of my body and my mind, beyond the world of thought. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a few instructions here. First, towards the sitting posture. So you can sit in a comfortable seat. If you're sitting on a chair, make sure you sit on the front part of the chair or the edge of the chair so that your feet are completely well planted on the floor. This allows your spine to be erect and your head and neck are in the same plane, allowing the breath to flow easily or your prana to be available to you during the course of the meditation. The second one would be if you're sitting on the floor. I would suggest you sit on a little cushion so that your sit bones are above. That allows your knees to automatically fall. And when they fall down, you get a little tripod in which you can have a comfortable seated posture. Your spine will be erect and straight in that posture. So once you sit in that posture, you will be closing your eyes to center yourself briefly. And then you will do a little body scan to see whether you may be holding tension anywhere. And with self-suggestion, go ahead and release that tension. Okay. And the next step would be, and I'll guide you through the meditation, so you will come to more details about it. Your hands can be in meditation mudra like so, or palm in front of, on top of each other in your lap. The next part of it would be deep diaphragmatic breathing, in which case, let me explain. First, it's a 4-partite breathing. So first we exhale. So exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll inhale 2, 3, 4. Pause at the end of each. So as you exhale, if I can show you, if I put my hand on my belly, let's see if we exhale. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4, and your tummy comes out. So your awareness will go along with your breath from the tummy, chest, neck, nose, and out. And as you inhale, it'll go from your nose, throat, chest into your tummy. So this is the movement, and we'll put a pause at the end of it. So let's just try one cycle together. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pause. Inhale 2, 3, 4, pause. And like so, you'll be doing about 5 of these cycles during the meditation. Then you will return to your regular default breathing briefly after you've done this. We'll chant Om 3 times. The O creates a vibration in the chest, and the Ma creates a vibration in the head. So as you chant Om, Om, awareness will follow your vibrations from the chest to the head. And as we go through the 3 chantings, you will get softer and softer till you till you arrive at your third eye. Now the real meditation starts. The way is to help calm your mind down even further. The breath does the same. The instructions of the mind, once you have gone to the third eye, your awareness is there at the third eye, your gate of your cave or your consciousness, you will instruct your mind to tune into the sound that is available at the outer ear. There's a little hum there. It's always in the now. When you tether that mind to that now, you will find that the thought disturbance would be would be less and less. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Once we have done that, we're going to suspend our rest of our awareness. Some awareness is at the ear, the hum of the ears, and the rest of the awareness is in front of your eyes, space in front of your eyes, and you're going to suspend your awareness there. Should a thought come in, you're going to chant Om and dissipate that vibration back into the silence and return to meditation. And you will do this till your meditation is complete. My dong went off. It told me that I have done 7 minutes, so now 8 minutes of instructions. So we have about 12 minutes left. And we're going to go ahead and I'll guide you through the meditation in the first part. I will be talking and giving you suggestions. And subsequently, we will be sitting in silence, hopefully for about 10 minutes. Okay, got my clock down for 13 minutes. So I would like you to go ahead and sit in a comfortable posture, spine and head erect. I want you to go ahead and close your eyes, centering yourself within. Gently observe, scan your body from head to toe, noticing any tension or congestion in any part of the body. Self-suggest to let the tension go. Soften your eyes, soften your face with a gentle smile. Soften your jaw muscles. This is where we often hold tension. Relax your shoulders, your torso, your sit bones, your leg bones, all the way down to your toes. You can use the help of your exhale. We cannot hold any tension. Imagine you are sending a calm energy with exhale from head to toe, releasing it all into the ground. Bring your awareness to your breath. See how your breath is breathing you, your default breath. Now we will deepen the breath. Exhale first. Tummy will go in as you exhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 2, 3. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause. You will do the next 3 breaths on your own. Now breathe easy, returning to your default breath. We will chant Om 3 times. Connect to the sound at your ears. Suspend the rest of your awareness in front of your third eye, as if walking out into space. Keeping your eyes still closed. Go ahead and bring your fingers, your hands together, rub your palms, warm them up, warm them up, warm them up. And gently cup your eyes. This is a great way to relax your eye muscles. Savor the warmth, the spacious darkness, the quiet, the peace. Gently open your eyes. Let the light filter in. Massage your face. Namaste. Time to give thanks for this gift of life and the awareness with which we experience this life. Thank you for attending. I hope you're able to take this method home and start a little practice. Actually, I don't know how much we have, about 2 minutes. And I really want to share with you the benefits. Increased body awareness is becoming aware when you're sitting and doing your body scan. You can actually become aware of where you're holding tension. And with that, consciously, you can actually relax or actively relax that body part. In fact, if you breathe in to the area, you can expand that area. And as you exhale, you can release the tension out there. So that is a real tangible benefit that we can take home. Releasing the stress that we have in our bodies. The second one is deep breathing and suddenly chanting Om. It can easily help you unclutter your mind when your mind is disturbed. If you do that, it's a great one for also facilitating sleep. If I do this deep breathing and bring my awareness to my ears, I hear the background hum. That is exactly what you feel before you actually fall off to sleep. So if you do that for about 10 even breaths up and down, you can actually get yourself back to sleep again and declutter your mind. So an excellent, excellent tool, skill that we have learned. Lastly, with daily practice of meditation, one develops clarity of mind. This opens the communication channels with our inner voice, allows for better decision making. It enables better concentration in work, more efficient execution of work. A happier, calmer self leads to better relationships. Gradually, space develops between the I, or inner witness, and the mind. They're quite distinct entities. This separation allows one to be less reactive in life. This is the beginning of developing equanimity. I changed me, I changed my experience, and I changed my life. I changed my experiences, how I experience life will be changed as I change me, basically. So thank you for your attention, and have a good night. Acharya is coming home.
Thank you. That was very good. Thank you. Thank you. And we will meet again next week and continue with this session number 9. Thank you again. Have a good time.
Actually, I want it.